How I became full-time self-employed. Hi guys, it's Sam Day here from DeyTips.com, helping serious entrepreneurs like you to boost sales to your products and services online by using simple but super effective online marketing tips and tricks. So if you are a serious entrepreneur, make sure you hit that subscribe button and press the bell notification button as well, so you never miss a tip that could help you to boost sales to your products and services online. And make sure you leave a comment in the comment section down below so I can introduce myself to you and you can join the community here. So in this video, this is a Wednesday and I'm doing a series at the moment on Wednesdays where I release a Let's Chat video, and I'm speaking about anything. It could be business, it could be personal, it could be anything. If you guys have a suggestion and you're enjoying these Let's Chat Wednesday videos, then do let me know in the comment section down below, because I do take your comments on board and I try to incorporate them in future videos in some way as best I can. So please do make sure you leave your suggestions in the comments so I know what you guys actually want to watch and you want me to cover. But in this video, I'm speaking about becoming full-time self-employed because I feel like there's so much misinformation and so much confusion out there with regards to being full-time self-employed and kind of taking the plunge, quitting your job and saying, look, I'm going to do this full-time. There's so much pros, there's so much cons, there's so much benefits. And like I said, there's so much misinformation and kind of the media portrays being an entrepreneur in a certain way, and it's just not the reality for most people. So first and foremost, I want to speak about my journey. So I've kind of always known I wanted to be self-employed or a business owner of some sort or be my own boss. I've always known that, and I never always knew exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew that I didn't want to kind of be an employee. I knew I wanted to be someone who employs other people and someone who creates job opportunities and also someone who is able to employ themselves. And I knew that from the age of roughly about 15 years old. I kind of knew that was the direction I wanted to take. So all of the jobs that I did take growing up were always contracted jobs, so they would end in 8 months or a year or so on, or they would be part-time jobs, so I can actually work within my business and just work part-time to help me bring in money. So that was a smart decision that I made from young, and I know not all of you are in that position where you're kind of still living at home with your parents. So when I started off my business, I was kind of heavily dependent on my parents. At the age of about 15, 16, 17, that was when I started my first kind of business ventures. And I did that purposely because I knew I had kind of my parents to back me and my parents to kind of help me out, and I had a support system. So for those of you who are young and you're watching this video and you're at home still, or you have that support system, start your business then. Start your business when, if you lost everything, it wouldn't actually mean much because there's still food on the table. And for those of you who kind of are past that stage and you're working a job that is basically helping you to live, and maybe you have children and stuff like that, then obviously that's not going to be necessarily applicable to you. You're going to want to kind of move into that self-employment full-time more in a smoother transition. But that was just my journey. My journey was, because I knew what I wanted to do so young, I was able to kind of grow it slowly and take more risk because I didn't have any children and I didn't have any kind of major responsibilities. But one of the kind of stigmas that I want to kind of detach from self-employment and entrepreneurship is that you have to kind of be rich. You don't have to be rich to be full-time self-employed. And I see on social media so many times people kind of with a fancy car or with a fancy chain or with a fancy watch to kind of almost stipulate that this is what you need to have as an entrepreneur. This is what you need to have to be a successful entrepreneur. And that is just not true whatsoever. In fact, if you're a smart entrepreneur, then you will not actually invest in depreciating assets, but you will actually use your income to actually reinvest in your business, or use that income as a way to produce more income later on down the line and invest that money into an asset that's going to actually bring you money later on down the line. So instead of driving the latest car or having the latest new name brand clothes, you're going to spend that money a little bit more wisely, especially if you're trying to be full-time self-employed, or if you are full-time self-employed, you want to be thinking wiser about your money, about how you spend that money, about how you allocate that money. So it might not be necessarily necessarily driving the Ferraris and the Mercedes and, you know, all of these fancy things. It might be actually, do you know what, I'm going to live below my means and put that money into an asset, or put that money back into my business so I can grow the business. So in 5 to 10 years time, I'm in a very, you know, financially really stable and independent place, rather than actually I'm on the job market again after being self-employed for 2 or 3 years and not spending my money wisely. So that's one thing to consider as well, is don't be drawn away by the fact that you have to be driving a certain thing or wearing certain clothes. It's false. It's absolutely false. You don't need to have all of that in order to be successful. In fact, you can be very successful and live very humbly, and, you know, accumulate your wealth and invest wisely. So that's definitely something that I would kind of drum home and make sure that you guys don't feel like you need to have all of that stuff. Secondly, I would say as well is a lot of people, they enjoy their work. So they enjoy whatever it is that they do as a 9 to 5. And they're just literally starting a business just as a hobby, just on the side, or maybe just extra income, and that is absolutely fine as well. You don't need to feel pressured to be full-time at your business. You might just really enjoy doing hair, or really enjoy selling products online, or really enjoy whatever it is that you're doing as a side hustle, and that is completely fine as well. You should never let someone dictate to you how much money you should make. If you're happy making an extra 20 grand a year, or an extra 10 grand a year, or whatever it is that you're making doing your business, then you shouldn't let anybody tell you that, oh, you should be doing more. Like, if you're happy with your life and you're really enjoying your life and you're like, this is great, I'm working full time and I've got a part-time business, and that's what you want, then that's absolutely fine as well. But for those of you who are working a 9 to 5 and you want to leave that job, then I would definitely recommend, you know, making sure that you start changing your mindset, shifting your mindset, because a lot of people go into work and they kind of make their bed at work. Now I'm going to explain what I mean by that, but the way I describe working for someone who wants to be full-time self-employed is kind of like taking a taxi. So for example, a taxi is a mode of transportation to get you from one place to another place. And you don't make your bed in the taxi. You don't reach your destination in the taxi. The taxi is taking you somewhere. And then when you get to that destination, obviously you get out of the taxi and you go on to your destination. And that's, for me, what a job is. A job is a taxi, and it's supposed to take you from one place to another. So a job is necessary sometimes. It bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be as a self-employed individual. It helps to fund your ideas. It helps to fund your marketing budget. It helps to fund yourself whilst you're establishing and building a business that's hopefully going to keep you full time. One thing you don't want to do is look at your job and start making your bed there. When you start making your bed in the taxi, something that was supposed to transport you to self-employment full time is now keeping you, and it's now suffocating you, and it's now, you're completely dependent on it. So I would definitely recommend to decrease your dependency on your job. So whether it means you have to downgrade your car, you have to downgrade your house, you have to kind of live more humbly, so that you're not so dependent on that job financially, and you can make that shift from being full-time employee to full-time self-employed, is by kind of letting go of the crutches that you've kind of made for yourself being an employee and being in that job, and slowly but surely, you know, letting go of some of those financial kind of pressures that you've put on yourself to drive this car or to live this certain lifestyle, and, you know, slowly being able to kind of not necessarily just make more. You want to make more in your business, but you also want to spend less as well in your personal life, so that you can afford to be self-employed as well. And I hope this kind of makes sense. I feel like this is a topic that I want to go into a lot more as well here on this YouTube channel, so I may be doing a part 2 to this. Again, if you guys have any questions about this, or if you disagree or agree, then let me know in the comment section. I would love to have a discussion about this. But I really hope that this video brought someone some value. I also have the formula which is behind me. This is the formula to generating sales online. So if you have a product or a service and you're promoting that product or service online, then I highly recommend downloading the formula. It's absolutely free. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below, and also somewhere on this screen as well. So make sure you grab your free copy. But if this video helped you out, then please click the like button down below and make sure you share this video with a friend. If you have any additional questions or comments, then leave them for me in the comment section. But until next time, watch some of my other great videos. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for more awesome business related content. Download the formula, and I'll see you soon.